Cursed Iberians. Yeah, I struggle to think what there is to do when the next one on the chopping block are the Ottomans. I could certainly give France a wallop, but they're guaranteed by GB. What I would probably do is I would take the fight with France if I thought Great Britain was about to coalition me. Great Britain hate my guts, so go figure they'd want me deed there. But Toulouse have yet to make a claim on France. I don't want to fight over colonialism. I could make a claim on France. And for the sake of being able to wage war on France whenever I need to, let's make it. Should really sort it by unity, but it only does it one way, unfortunately, and with a lot of trade company stuff, it kind of breaks the spell, which is unfortunate. Oh well, I'll just eyeball it and go you. Time to integrate Toulouse and take control of Gaulish front directly. That comes after Anatolia, Mashriq, and Crimea. Can't forget, yeah, I need to take the Crimean area. Just the area. I don't think they took much more than that for a long time. It's all going to be very expensive to take, though. Why do the Greeks want to rise up? Mostly because of Edirene, but why? Intolerance, separatism, yeah, a lot of these are good reasons. I should probably stake that place up. Gets that autonomy down. It's going to make it a lot cheaper to convert. If I get it converted before the revolt, that'll be good. Even after saying I didn't want to add any of the Balkans to my areas. Well, I did Kosovo, I suppose. And I said I would convert Kosovo. I've yet to do that. Okay, Kosovo and Edirene need to go next. Also, that's a nice area. You'd really need to get Imperial Ordius Volt CB. Wow. Also, did I say Maghreb before Mashriq again? I'm going to confuse those constantly, which makes it all the more reasonable that I did mistake them when writing them down earlier. These three ideas are really not worth my time. I'm not going above my force limit. I don't really do much in the way of attrition, and garrison size is bleh. Oh well, I'll do it anyway. Rather than paying over the odds for line infantry, because I'm not about to be at war for a few years, or so the plan goes. Bremen wish to give us knowledge. I don't think it's even worth it, so I'm going to decline. What I should do is get it myself and then sell it to somebody else that has loads of money, like Russia. What about policies? We used to take 3 policies that all gave diplomats, I think. Hang on, what? Oh, that's an admin policy. I'd love to have any other admin policy right now, but I don't. Yeah, this diplomat guy. Reinforce army morale. Manpower, land maintenance, land limit. Nah, we have the good ones here. Diplomats, leaders at upkeep. This is a huge one. War exhaustion, diplomatic reputation. I like it a lot. No, those Greeks do want to rise up. Oh well. The lazy merchant comes and goes. I'm just going to ignore him now. We make plenty enough money as it is in Genoa and in Venice. Alright, with Navarra done, let's see if we can't get Edirene done before it rises up and revolt against us. 17 months. No, that doesn't sound right at all. It's February, so it's only 13 months. Boy, all this peace kinda gives you an itchy finger for clicking the declare war button. And that's my invitation to root out the heretics in Kosovo. And change even Alexandria's done. I'd love to focus on Egypt, but one step at a time. Let's root out all of the Iberians. Glundar says, question if I may, but your question's like a dozen lines long. It is 1700 in my game in Ryukyu. I'm using Vassal Swarm Tactic. I have most of North and South America, the whole of Africa and India. I have the English and Irish islands. However, I find my wars against the likes of Spain and Ottomans are slow and expensive. I think it's because I'm not keeping my troops close to each other as I'm going for forts. How important is it? Or could I be doing something else wrong? How I know it's a hard question. You're right, it's a very hard question without info. And I don't even know what I could say. Honestly. Greeks. Experiment, fight wars against large powers better. Sometimes you don't always have to go for 100%. If it's that late in the game, you would probably benefit from winning one good war against them, strip them from everything that's making them difficult to fight, be that forts or coastline, or even their colonial subjects, and then just truce break and carve them up again. If you're vassal swarming, that shouldn't be a problem. Don't feel afraid of truces. Also, don't be afraid of carving up your largest foes at the end, when you have the most administrative efficiency and the better CBs and all that. Okay. Yeesh. Nice novel, says Freeport. How do you deal with the AI when expanding that much? By killing them? The questions are vague. Vague questions get vague answers. We're getting somewhere with Syria at least. Wouldn't mind getting somewhere to having a decent heir for McCain though. Oof, mucho expensive. I'd rather not. I'll just let it spread throughout my country a bit more. It's not like the tech is agonizingly expensive, and it's not like I'll see either of these techs for some time. Oh! That caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting Castilians to rise up. Iberians. I have way too many forts around here. Some of them are fairly superfluous. That includes you. I don't think the fort on Lisboa is that superfluous, though. People keep sneaking in around there. I made aggressive expansion. Sorry for my mistake. Keep people truce locked. And if you have somebody that's in a coalition against you and you need them out, attack an ally. Try to demand a threatened land from them. There are lots of different tools you can do. Me, I don't mind fighting a defensive coalition so badly as long as I can win the battles. Well, that's kind of what you need to do, and that's in that case. All our skaters should have this one dealt with. Best religion for one faith, probably Catholic. There's so much of it early on, just grab it. Make sure your subjects stick to it as well. Jake, can rebels ever rise up without them rising to 90% progress? I can't think of a time, but there are certain cases where it bounces up from like 90 to 180. Usually from integrations, if my memory serves. Okay, that useless general's finally dead. Child in the reeds. This is what happens when you hold out. Weak claim. 5-3-4 though. I feel like we demanded so much, and settling for that is a bit, oh, come on, 5 ducats. How am I meant to say no to 5 ducats? Oh yeah, there's rebel events, that's a given. You might think it's foolish to say no to 5-3-4, but that shows that you're just willing to settle for less. I am not. Okay, a lot of these truces are coming apart. Oh, crumbs. Since I did nasty things to the Mamluks, now Central Asia's starting to look at me with a raised eyebrow. And when I do the same to the Ottomans, that could become a bit of a problem. Transoxania, Delhi, Kazakh. Delhi's a bit of a pain. They're huge and were surely formed by Jampur. Let's keep them in the relatively good books for now. France has entered the coalition. And here I was thinking I would attack France to keep Great Britain out of the coalition. Okay, looks like I'm going to enjoy just a bit of a coalition salad. Just a bit. That's scary stuff. At the very least I can get my claim on France. Not one that fired the coalition against me all that time ago. Can't really threaten war right now because the coalition's breathing down my throat. Yeah, all these people are likely to join it. Oh well, I'm ready for it. They can attack, but I'm only... well, I'm ready to peel the Ottomans to pieces. I feel like I should upgrade Brescia a bit more. It keeps getting attacked. People keep seeing it as a chink in the armor. Oh no, Hungary as well. They were just restored. Can't handle this. I might have to revoke the march of Bulgaria and scootage them, because they're going to cost me in a coalition war. They don't mind so much, because I have full Diplo ideas. I didn't take the hit for it. There's the scootage. Not long now, Ottomans, don't you worry. I could always fight Morocco to get straight to you, but there's very little point in doing that right now. It'd be nice to threaten them to not be your friend as well. Yeah, that coalition's keeping that off. Well, I can but expect a coalition war coming my way. Could always puff my chest out a bit more, but against so many nations, it would be very unlikely to make a difference. That said, though, I should strongly consider making another army, especially if the coalition's coming my way. Only having 4 is way too much of a setback. What can we have then? I would like... wait, what's this? 34? Let's puff our chest out as well while we're at it. 34. Yeah, let's have a hell of a big attack stack here. 66 is a huge army. 34, 32. This will be expensive. On everything, including manpower. And we'll have them down in Valencia, because there's good supply limit there. 60. I think some of these have better. Barcelona's a touch better at least. Is the coalition going to come to take your lunch when you go and attack the Ottomans? Wouldn't be the first time they try to take my lunch when I'm fighting the Ottomans, but I'm relatively ready for it. It's expensive to upgrade all my ships. Yeah, I'm not willing to do it. $781 aggressive expansion with France. Sweet, Kosovo's converted as well. That's more gold for me. And more of an effort we can put on expunging Catholic... Oh, even more of an effort on expunging Catholic Iberians. Boy, I'd really like that air. Come on, McCain, get busy. Terrible thing would be to let the Ottomans join the coalition against me. I should endeavour not to let that happen. But we can see it bright as day, February 61. And I assume it's the same for me against them. February 61. Who knows, that's been false plenty times before. It'll be false again. Yes, famous Iberian elephants coming along. But I'm just mobilizing a bit heavier so that I'm ready to take on whatever comes my way. Oh god, this is getting expensive. Remember when I had money? Chang's every extra unit's costing me so much more. Salzburg, Castile, lots of Castilian related things, but I doubt Castile's about to give in to my demands for that province. No, they almost would, but that coalition says a thing or two about it all. Change focus off of mill, you're not going to have much to spend it on. This is true. Admin is tempting, but dip is probably more tempting. I need to get going with my subject integrations. Not to mention, get closer to the all-powerful Diplomatic Tech 23, which unlocks the advanced Casus Belli. It is dip that gets that, right? Yeah, 23. It's a while away, but when we get it, boy, it'll be good. Wait, the Ottomans got Crane? Did they demand it back or something? Oh, I'm about to eat a deficit with all this going on. I went a bit over my force limit there. There is an idea that maybe I should raise it up a bit more with some buildings or the like. Oh wait, no, I know exactly what'll raise my force limit. Hey, planned that one. Lower inflation question? Damn, my inflation should never be that high. Morocco just dishonoured with the Ottomans. That's great news. I don't know what makes Transylvania think they can take on the Ottomans mano a mano, but that's good that it broke them up, because that gives me one less person to worry about fighting against. I just lost a lot of claims. Moroccan, Salzburgian, but not Ottoman, so that's good. Right, where can I even throw you since there are too many of you? And I'm probably short a cannon around here as well. It would be very strange if that's all we had. Okay, you're being made in Labu in my subjects' provinces, go figure. Okay, where's my mind at? Continue with the expulsion. Let's get that. Let's see how much of a difference this makes to my finances. Considerable. We have a couple of new policies available if you're not interested in either of them. And yeah, it's just prepare for war against the Ottomans now. Should you be left alone there? Probably not, but it's very hard to find somewhere with enough supply for you. I could give you not home. He's got enough. No, he's not got enough to stop that. Alright, well, divide you up I will. And it's your job to protect Iberia. It's your job to protect Italia, and your job to join in the fighting over against the Ottoman. The Ottomans did slip into bankruptcy. It's due to be over by the time I declare war upon them, but this is useful still. Great Britain's no longer a valid rival. Rough stuff. All I can have is Russia. The same Russia that really doesn't want to be in a coalition against me. They don't care what I'm doing. I also like this. Brilliant diplomat. Extra diplo relations, lower aggressive expansion impact. That'll actually be useful, given that I'm a bit afraid of all of these folks joining coalitions against me. I mean, Alodia did. What is even an Alodia? No, they're not a Copt. Great power list question mark. I'm at the top naturally, then Castile, GB, Russia, Ottomans, Brazil, Delhi, Mamluks. I wonder, no, Russia's my rival, they'd never accept knowledge sharing off of me. Alright, be ready to jump on Constantinople, secure their capital. Austria joins, of course. Yeah, I'm really expecting a fight against me. Lodi will be a bit of a pain, they're going to come up into here, and oh, I have upgraded my forts. Well then, Alodia can do one. I would like a bit of a better navy, but 2-deckers are a while away. It might be worth my time making a bunch of war galleons, or I could invest more in galleots, since all of my fighting is done here in the Mediterranean. But I'm not particularly good at navy in general. 33 of them, huh? Well, who would have seen that coming? Saxony decided we have to go, and all of the coalition friends have joined in. It's not the biggest one yet, but they haven't mobilized. But I'm quite confident we have everything we need to defend our lands here. Well, maybe you on your own aren't enough. Yeah, that force limit should be put to use here. You currently have 32, but the width is 34. So let's prepare ourselves for that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2. Yeah. You'll be able to hammer anything that comes your way, I'm quite confident about that. It's your job to protect anybody against any incursions here, and you should be able to do that. Oh yeah, Morocco's a thing, and now I have holdings here. They'll cross over here, but that's what Malaga is good for. Well, potentially good for. Let's upgrade that fort considerably. I know it's kind of building the arc after the rain has started, but that's what you get. The time I see in chat on stream, is it AM or PM? It's PM. It is currently 20:34 here in Stockholm. I don't like this list of generals. It needs to be expanded upon, which means we need a new hero to fight back against the entire world. Herr Kommissar didn't last very long as an heir, so let's see how they do as a general. I'll take it. I'll especially take that for siege. It's not walking cannon levels, but it's no bad. I haven't appealed to my my estates in a long time. They could certainly contribute, but the clergy is the one that really need to pick up the pace here. I'll take everything they got, just so long as they show me that admin power. Yeah, you know what, I'll just take it out of them. Clunk. And the nobility are never really that happy. Can't even tell them to go on a diet right now to make them happier, but the manpower's not so needed. The generalship isn't good enough. You know what, I think I'll let them be happy for a change. I've been very cruel to them for a long time. The Portuguese wish to rise up, so do the Tunisians. I'm borderline ready for both. Alright, bring it on. As usual, they are legging it for Brescia, and he's going to regret that. Let's see what you're made of, Commissar. He appears to be made of dead Lorraines. Very dead Lorraines, thanks for that 3 war score. We'll celebrate by peacefully convincing Iberians to give up their faith, even in the Great Lyon. Jake, is cavalry still worth it at this stage in the game, or do you take them in to fight more often against smaller stacks than combat width? Right, well, let's look at this to begin with. He says, thinking he can remember where he's meant to look here. He's squinting his eyes really hard, but it's not working. Oh well, I'll wait for a battle then. Hang on, maybe it's in tech. That's what we're looking at. See that flanking range? When it reaches 100, infantry can flank as well as cavalry could in the early game. Cavalry have a flanking of 2. With this, they have a flanking of 3. So I should actually have 6 cavalry, but I don't. Oh well, 4 is still fine. Hopefully I can fight a battle and show you what I'm meaning. Hey, Tyrol's looking up for grabs. There are a lot of reinforcements though. I'm going to hold off on that for a moment. Dang, they brought in everything they could for that. Dirt. And it's not protected by a fort either, so that could be a bit of a pain. Could have been. Get down there. There's every chance you'll get there in time to stop them. It's a month away. Yeah, no, that won't be in time. Get in Benghazi and just march over then. I do believe cavalry is still worth it. It's just sometimes a pain to keep them in. Late game, I would say just use infantry, but cavalry can be useful. Take this, for example. It's not a good idea for my cavalry because I only have 2 instead of 4. This would be a lot better if I had the infantry flanking with the cavalry. There we go, there's the cavalry's range. It can flank for a range of 3, meaning it's good to have them on the outside here. In this particular battle, if I had 6 cavalry, I'd have 3 on either side. You would demolish their flanks and then just truly crush them. It's not as important as, say, having every cannon you can afford, but it's still pretty good. And it's especially good for chasing down the smaller stacks. Let's get you over to Barcelona. Good space for you there. Great music as well for a defensive war. And we're meant to start our aggression on the Ottomans before long too. GB is not part of this. Why? Oh well, I guess it's of little concern as long as they're out of there. I'm gonna put Lawler Skater over here, you got the better maneuver. Oh, well, what timing. And even better. Okay, for that then, I want... there are many good options, but I'll take Not Home around here. Glad I have that fort in position for all of this. Right, they're making dangerous progress. I'm glad I kept that fort on Trent for this, though. My army is almost ready to go and destroy them, and destroy them they will. Oh, excellent. He's going over to that island, even better. This will all come together just nicely. Gun him down, Commissar. This is a slightly better example. So it lines up, it puts infantry against all of the enemy, and then it lines up cavalry. And we have 2 on either side. And they're able to flank their sides really hard. Look at their sides just getting dismantled there. Really speeds up the collapse of them. Good lord, what a slaughter. Well, let's carry on the slaughtering. We also get our reinforcements on that tick as well, which is good. Unfortunately, I was too busy looking at that, and I missed my opportunity to go and slaughter the Moroccans. Very tragic indeed. Oh god, there's a lot going on, but I'll wait for them to get invested in my mountainous fort before I go and engage them further. Brazilians, they want Algarve back. Well, they're not getting Algarve back. Come and have a go if you think you're hard enough. I'm hard enough. Chocolate imports. That manpower recovery speed is actually worth it to me. I'm taking it because we've been suffering on manpower for too long. I don't get there fast enough. Let's give chase though. These minor occupations on me mean nothing. What matters is I win from the battles. The blockade of Lisboa is worth quite a lot though, surprisingly. I don't like that. I doubt they'll sustain it though, not when they're sustaining losses like those. Just keep on cleaning up. Empty and clean. Hold off on that for a little bit. I'm going to pull this back because you are a little bit at risk there. Ah, but that doesn't put me in a position to jump on the auto freaks. Part of the problem is you guys just floating around there. There. Just drown in war score. I'll get S-Fax and I'll drop in unannounced on the Moroccan freaks. Really, Brazil, what are you doing there? Morocco's there with heavies as well. Maybe I should consider a heavy fleet down the line. Oh, he's going over to Sabha. Interesting. Jake, how is it that even with garbage national ideas, no military ideas, non-combat advisor, low prestige, etc., you always seem to be just able to savage the enemy armies? I never understood how people got their armies to be so good. Well, there's many effects on them. And indeed, at this point, I actually have decent ideas. Okay, not from the Burmese ideas per se, but I do have quality ideas, which is pretty good from any standpoint, and absolutism helps with the discipline as well. Granted, you know, there's the likes of France and Brandenburg and those that have considerably better everything when it comes to armies than me. But what they don't have is me managing their armies, and what I do when I manage my armies is a lot of horrible things to my enemies. Probably looking for tangible examples there. I will catch my enemies wherever I can, if it's a do-or-die battle, with full back row of artillery, full front row of infantry and cavalry, and that will trounce just about any combination of superiority from ideas and such. Let's take them down, I don't want them existing. Even in this one where I don't have all of that going for me, I outflank this guy considerably. He has way too many cavalry, and I have about 3 times as many cannons, meaning I'm just going to be blasting him from the back row. Doesn't matter what ideas or anything Morocco have, and they do have offensive and defensive. They're still going to die against me. Given that most of the HRE is at war with you, is this an opportunity to dismantle the Empire? Good question. I wouldn't take it even if it was, though, because it would mean I'd have to go into all of this. And the reason I'm winning is that I'm being on the defensive. If I went on the offensive, I would exhaust myself real fast. Brandenburg is not at war with me, so that's not an option. Okay. 22. It's a shame it only goes up to 40 from battles, otherwise I would cane so much in these coalition wars. Right, it's just about time to declare war on the Ottomans. It's like it or not, ready or not, here I come kind of situation. Let's take these back, I don't like them being taken away from me. And we'll have this army free to move around however it pleases. Alright, they've decided to take the bait. I'm not so sure I like this though. I just moved you away, but I already regret it. Let's fight and defeat them in that mountain. God, they gave up around here real fast, didn't they? Okay, Ottomans, there's no joining coalitions allowed. Ah, Crivens, it still counts as breaking truce. Something needs to be cleaned up with the truce with truce expirations. There's a lot I can do. It seems for some reason that Bulgaria really don't like the Ottomans. I could unscootage them and call them into this war and just give most of it to them. But the real thing that I'm going for here is my conquest of Anatolia. So these should be mine. I will take the likes of Huda Vendigar and everything else for myself. Pirate Elector was great. Pirate Elector was pretty damn great. Recht. Yeah, it all looks as set up as I can make it. Those guys ran away, so you just stick to Barcelona. And we're not facing much war exhaustion because of, yeah, Professional Corps and Defender of the Faith. A wonderful combination. The Ottomans don't have a whole lot going for them, but they're probably no longer suffering the effects of bankruptcy. So I don't get a freebie on that one. Let's just merge you two together. Under the divine... Yeah, we'll take Lawler Skater here. Just beat them up and then head away. Should be easy enough. Hopefully they try to reinforce. I'd be happy taking on that 70-something stack. But they don't seem so happy taking the fight. Good grief. What a shame for them. Well, that fort can do its job. We're onwards to take over first their capital, then Anatolia. Herr Commissar defends Italia brutally. You don't take a lot of attrition there, so it's no big deal. But it's probably better to take 0 attrition there. So let's just split you up. Would you ever consider playing more FTL, or do you feel you've finished all the content in it? I really enjoyed the chat interaction. There'll almost definitely be a Season 3 of Into the Airlock. The question is when, and I don't have an answer to that. But I suspect it would be at least another half year away, potentially longer. That's probably not what a lot of people want to hear, but too bad. Right, I can have this army put into use again. I don't even have the morale here. Then again, they're bringing in quite a lot of reinforcements. Diptech cost reduction. Yeah, that Swiss morale is pretty brutal. This might not be the battle for me. Front line's about to break, but so's theirs. Ah, the French arrived. The French are pretty damn good. Yeah, they have too many reinforcements coming in. I have to take the loss there. But I killed a whole lot more of them than they killed of me. And there'll be many more battles like it. Well, preferably with me winning. I've thrown way too many over here. Can't we just only have the cannons here? I only need 10 for the full bonus as well, so... This is where it gets a bit messier, but there we go. Tyrol might fall given what I did there. I pulled a bit too much back. There's a lot to keep my eyes on at once here. A heck of a lot. It's not easy. Oh, and we still don't have Brescia finished off. Might have been better to ship these troops over to there. But I really wanted to keep this. I really wanted to have the blockade going here. But the defense of Italia is a touch more important, I would say. Who just arrived by boat, actually? I think it was not home. Alright, go help out with Italia. They need a bit of backup. A new Frostpunk DLC is coming this month, Jake. Will you stream it? Almost certainly.